Donald Trump's disastrous debate, the Republican nominee needed to turn around his campaign. Instead, he threatened to jail his opponent. Throughout his presidential race, Donald Trump has been the NASCAR candidate. The press and voters seem riveted by his campaign because there's no telling when there might be a dramatic crash. For anyone tuning in for that reason, Sunday night's second presidential debate was just the ticket, a fiery, multi-car pileup. Trump meandered around the stage restlessly, delivered long strings of misleading statements, feuded with the moderators, and promised to prosecute a political rival if he won the race. He openly slapped down his running mate, Mike Pence, over Syria policy, saying, "He and I haven't spoken, and I disagree." In perhaps the most surreal moment of a surreal evening, moderator Anderson Cooper had to tell a major party nominee for president, "You bragged that you had sexually assaulted women. Do you understand that?" The Republican candidate, in the middle of the worst stretch of an often turbulent campaign, was peevish and erratic, frequently interrupting his opponent. He seemed even more ill at ease than he had during the first debate. Once again, he inhaled noisily over the microphone. And once again, he delivered a string of inaccurate statements. With Republicans abandoning Trump in droves just 29 days before the election, Trump seemed content to drive all of them off, perhaps even his own running mate. And that doesn't even get to Trump's bizarre pre-debate press conference with 3 women who accused former President Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton's husband, of sexual misconduct, as well as a 4th woman whose rapist Hillary Clinton represented in court. The 4 women also attended the debate and sat with the Trump family. In a highly unusual breach of protocol, if not a great shock, Trump and Clinton did not shake hands at the start of the debate, and the mood only got more acrimonious from there. The first question to the candidates, from a teacher, was about whether the candidates were setting an example they would want American school children to emulate. Clinton, starting off, answered the question with an anodyne statement of positivity. She did not bring up the recently released video of Trump bragging about sexually assaulting women. Trump, answering second, offered a quick litany of ills he said were plaguing the nation. Only then did the video come up. Trump offered no apology for his remarks, continuing to insist they were little more than locker room conversation. Cooper had to ask Trump 5 times whether or not he had actually sexually assaulted women before Trump denied it. Clinton pounced. With prior Republican nominees for president, I disagreed with them, politics, policies, principles, but I never questioned their fitness to serve. Donald Trump is different, she said. What we all saw and heard on Friday was Donald talking about women, what he thinks about women, what he does to women, and he has said that the video doesn't represent who he is. But I think it's clear to anyone who heard it that it represents exactly who he is, because we've seen this throughout the campaign. She also brought up remarks Trump had made about Muslims, African Americans, immigrants, and others. Trump, for his part, tried to deflect attention away from himself and toward Clinton's husband. "If you look at Bill Clinton, mine are words, and his were actions," Trump said. "There's never been anybody in the history of politics in this nation that's been so abusive to women." Hillary Clinton mostly declined to take the bait, quoting Michelle Obama's maxim that when they go low, you go high. She demanded that Trump apologize to Katran Ghazalikan, Judge Knazlo Curiel, disabled reporter Serge Kovaleski, and President Obama for the racistly that he was not born in the United States. Trump insisted that the slur had originated with Clinton's 2008 campaign, a claim that has been debunked and is also largely beside the point. That exchange set the tone for the rest of the night. The 2 rivals took opposite approaches. Clinton dredged up Trump's prior comments and strategic strikes. Trump, meanwhile, paced the stage, irritated, interrupting her. Clinton made an effort to address the audience, both at home and at Washington University in St. Louis, while Trump spent much of the night addressing Clinton directly. His approach was one of quantity, throwing as many attacks against Clinton as possible. During a discussion of tax policy, Trump demanded to know why she had not closed the carried interest loophole while serving as a senator from New York. A grinning Clinton delivered a zinger straight out of Schoolhouse Rock. "Do you know, under our Constitution, the president has something called veto power?" A few minutes into the debate, discussing Clinton's use of a private email server, while Secretary of State, Trump promised, "If I win, I am going to instruct my Attorney General to get a special prosecutor to look into your situation," adding that if he were in charge, you would be in jail. While the campaign has seen numerous incidents of Trump aides suggesting the sort of political retribution more common in banana republics, the specter of one candidate promising the prosecution of the other was unprecedented. Several questions later, Trump took the opportunity to prove Clinton's point about Muslims. When a Muslim woman stood up and asked the candidates what they would do about Islamophobia, Trump promptly turned the question around, blaming American Muslims for not informing law enforcement about potential terrorist activity in their midst. In other words, asked about Islamophobia, Trump blamed Muslims. Of refugees, he added, "This is going to be the great Trojan horse of all time." But Trump said he no longer supports a blanket ban on Muslims entering the country, replacing it with a nebulous idea of extreme vetting. Trump has not explained how his new vetting would differ from the existing process of screening refugees.